Do you ever wonder why some things come so easily and sometimes it's so frustrating when what we want doesn't seem to want us? Are we even moving in the right direction? In today's episode, I'll show you simple but effective steps to uncover the right direction and how to increase momentum once you find it. So stay tuned. Hi there and welcome. My name is Rami, like Do Re Mi. I'm a best-selling author and creator of the Get Unstuck Revolution. I help extraordinary women just like you dissolve the obstacles in your path so you can bring success to you. Now let's get started with today's video. Okay, let me jump off the screen here and switch to my laptop. Today, we're talking about why some things come so easily, and sometimes we feel like we have to claw our way to manifestation. So frustrating. There's something you want, something you're trying to create, but all you seem to get is more things to be frustrated about, and it just won't break free. As business owners, or even in our quote unquote real jobs, in our relationships at home or at work, or even when we're trying to get a grip on our finances, we can sometimes find ourselves wondering, what am I missing? Things shouldn't be so difficult. Today's episode is for you if you wonder the first step in redirecting any situation, what exactly is causing our suffering, and the number one accelerator to a positive outcome. Yes, we're talking about how to find your hidden power when you want to transform challenges into successes. I like to call it the audacity of alchemy. Because when you're feeling stuck, it's never the situation that has you stuck, it's your energy that's become stuck by the trigger of negative emotions that can come from past situations or events. In other words, it isn't the pain of the situation, it's the pain of not being connected in the natural energy of who you really are, of being connected to that magical part of you that's a creative vibrational being who can use positive energies to create what you want and bring it into physical manifestation. Part of this process is to allow your manifestations to materialize and not get stuck in the negative vibrations that block them. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, because when you can vaporize unwanted negative energies and reduce the conflicts that steal your positive energy flow, the possibilities for crystallizing the success you crave are endless. This series has little wisdom pearls that will help you do just that, because if you're like me, then you're someone who has the audacity, the willingness to take bold risks and transform challenges into success. So let's talk about this idea of transformation and the audacity of alchemy. How can we overcome our doubts, worries, frustration, anxiety, indecision, and transform our challenges? When we understand that we are vibrational beings living in a vibrational universe, then we understand that vibration is everything. You know, one of my favorite books is called the Book of Ra, R-A, or sometimes known as the Law of One. And I've put an image up here on the screen for you. There are a lot of fascinating concepts in this book about who we are as vibrational beings. And one of them is that we have a desire to seek something outside of the physical illusion. And that something is that we want to ascend to a higher vibration. In other words, more positive experiences. And by the way, you can Google the Law of One free copy or the raw material free copy and find a free PDF download. Of course, it's also available for purchase on Amazon. But there's the book cover for you so you can see what it is. So we're talking about vibration. Now we know that the universe isn't personal. It's simply responding to our vibration. Being in a positive vibration yields positive results, and being in a negative vibration somehow yields a life of things that we don't want. And this creates frustration. It turns into a vicious cycle that we can't seem to get out of sometimes. And so one of the concepts in the Book of Ra is about the primary lesson that we've come here to learn, that we're here to learn how to live better, brighter, deeper, stronger, fuller, with more kindness and understanding, without fears, doubts, anxiety, and an ability of using discernment and choice in each of our experiences to always recalibrate back into the light or back into a higher vibration. And that's because the universe is always responding to our vibration. And in order for us to ascend to better and higher experiences, we're here to master our vibration, to raise our vibration. And so here's the thing about how our vibration is guiding us. It's pretty simple, really. When we feel frustration or doubts or anxiety or any negative emotion, that's bringing us a message. It's asking us to stop. We're going down the wrong path. When we feel negative emotions, confusion, uncertainty, overwhelm, that's our opportunity to course correct and to reconnect with our positive thoughts instead. Our frustration, our negative energies or negative emotions are bringing us a message to move into a different frequency, a higher vibration. That's the message that our negative emotions have for us. Now, this is easily misinterpreted, especially if we've recently been through some kind of failure, because now all of our internal warning bells might go off at the least little thing. So just because we're feeling negative emotions, it doesn't mean to stop because we're going down the wrong path that we're currently on. We have to use our discernment to decide whether our current experience is bringing these negative emotions to us as a warning, or whether we're bringing our past experiences with us down our new path. I'll give you an example. One of my clients up in Northern California is from the other side of the world. And he spent most of his youth traveling the world, visiting different third world countries and volunteering wherever he could. And he laughed and said, some people consider that I was homeless, but I looked at it as an adventure. And so one day, on one of his adventures, he meets this beautiful woman. One thing leads to another. And even though they're from different cultures and different countries, he moves to America to be with her. They get married and have their first child. Now, all of a sudden, he's approaching things with a very lack mentality, a scarcity consciousness. He's looking at cutting corners and trimming the budget because he feels like he isn't being a good enough provider for his new family. He feels somehow like he isn't enough. So, of course, he's feeling hesitation and uncertainty and apprehension and all kinds of negative, cautious emotions. But this doesn't mean he's on the wrong path with this new life and new baby. All the warning bells are going off, telling him to stop bringing his fears to the table. That's the wrong path. His negative emotions are showing that he's going down the wrong path of fear and frustration and impending defeat. And if he continues down that path, he may inadvertently create defeat. He may create his own failure, the very thing he's so worried about. Make sense? So, frustration actually comes from how unwilling we are to care about managing our energy, whether it's from our past or a new situation that we're currently dealing with. Our negative emotions mean that we've become unwilling to manage our energy. And if we don't manage our own energy, we can become buried in these negative emotions. We can become buried in our fears. And then we begin to manifest the very situations that we don't want to hurt us again. So these negative emotions don't mean we're in the wrong direction. They're asking us to stop, reset, and manage our energies towards something more positive. And when we do that, then we'll be able to accelerate toward more and more of the good stuff. If we allow ourselves to respond to a situation rather than manage and direct the energy toward a desired outcome, that's where we can get stuck. So what do? How do we get unstuck if we find ourselves in a situation that's just taken on a life of its own? Well, the first step in redirecting the energy is to start with a positive thought, just one, because thoughts are energy and they magnetize. If we can think of one positive thought, we can think of another and another. If we can think of 10 positive thoughts, we can think of 20. And this begins to shift the energy. This is our hidden power. We can shift our thoughts toward a positive outcome no matter what. And the energy of the situation, well, it'll begin to change. When we shift our thoughts toward excitement or the joy of all the possibilities that might unfold, the situation and the energy around us begins to change. When our emotions are positive and we hold them there, it means the manifestation is well underway, because when our emotions are positive, we aren't throwing resistance all over a situation that's trying to manifest to our highest benefit. Well, you've heard me say it before. Can we change the energy of a situation? Always. Are we strong enough? That's the question. And so that's why I've given you this first step, and that's to just start with a positive thought, just one, and then keep going with more positives. Okay, so the second step is to expand from there. If we can expand from positive thoughts into positive emotions like joy, appreciation, gratitude, harmony, resilience, possibilities, optimism, vibrancy, if we can expand into these positive emotions, it means the blueprint of what we want will begin to fill in almost immediately because now we're connected with our own natural positive energies. The blueprint of what we want will begin to fill in almost immediately because we're connected with our own natural positive energies. In other words, positive energy is an accelerator. It helps our manifestation come to fruition more quickly. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't allow themselves to feel positive until their desired outcome has already happened. We think we'll feel better once we have it, and of course we will, but it's backwards from the way the universe manifests. It's backwards from the way the universe manifests. It's like fighting gravity, it's a losing battle. When we manage our energy first, then the universe can respond to our vibration and bring us what we want to create. I'll say it a different way. We have to find a way to do it in a way that sometimes feels very backwards. We have to connect with positive energy first, and then we can realize our desired outcome. Now, when we create and connect with positive energy, when we're creating without resistance, well, our manifestation hasn't come yet, but the positive energy about it is already present. And when our positive energy about it is already present, it's already here, it's already surrounding us, then we're holding the space for this positive energy to begin to expand. And when the positivity about our desired outcome is here in present time, well, it must manifest. It's universal law. So our desired outcomes are created in vibration first, and then they come into the physical. That's the universal law. So we want to find the positive vibration first, and then it must manifest. You know, I come from a background of productivity, of push, 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 of if I don't see a result yet, well, I'm just going to work harder to get my numbers up. So, yes, we could work harder, take more action, be more diligent, but we can't do it out of frustration or feeling pressured to work harder. That's the wrong energy. It may take audacity to go up against the universe, but you know what? It's really quite simple when you know what to do. We want to find the positive vibration first, and then the positive outcome must manifest. And sometimes it'll manifest even better than we expected. Remember that the universe isn't personal, it's simply following our instructions. In other words, it's following our vibration. So when we're feeling frustration, when we're feeling pressured, when we're feeling annoyed, or any of the negative emotions, that's a message that we aren't aligned with positive vibration. And then no matter how hard we work, no matter, we just can't get there because the universe goes into overdrive to match our negative emotion and bring us more things to be annoyed about. And we may never see our manifestation come to fruition then. You know, I remember a client telling me one time, I made 100 follow-up phone calls this week and nothing. I'm so irritated. And that irritation was giving him a message to connect with a positive vibration first. And then he could direct his energy toward a positive outcome. We can't get to our desired outcome from irritation, frustration, or annoyance, but we can recognize that our negative emotion is bringing us a message. It's asking us to course correct and get into some positive thoughts instead. Our frustration is bringing us a message to move into a different frequency, a higher frequency, a higher vibration, so that we can realize our desires. That's the message it has for us. If we can find a way to feel good about our desired outcome, then it's on its way. If we're feeling negative, then we're pushing that desired outcome further out, slowing it down. So just remember that it isn't the situation that annoys us so much, it's our negative thoughts that cause the suffering. It's just that we've been doing this backwards for so long. We thought we wanted the manifestation first, and then we'd feel great about life. But the universe requires us to find the positive first. It requires us to adjust our frequency first in order to attract in our manifestation. So we may have to do it the other way around from what we're used to doing. It begins with one positive thought, just one, and then 20, and then however many positive thoughts it takes to turn that frequency around or get aligned with that higher frequency. It's not the situation causing frustration, it's our energy, our thoughts about the situation. And since the universe is requiring us to find the positive first, we're choosing a higher frequency. We're choosing those higher and better thoughts because our choice of frequency changes the course of our journey. So, reflecting back on everything we covered today, how can you apply what you've learned? Can you see how negative emotions are asking us to choose a different path? Maybe it isn't that the current situation is wrong, but it's our past emotions that are being stirred up, and that's what maybe needs a little bit of an adjustment. Well, I hope this helps you as you're using the powers of alchemy to transform challenges and obstacles into positive new successes. This podcast is all about helping you progress in your spiritual growth and have success on life's journey. It's all about getting unstuck by unlocking your hidden power. If you still can't get your head around what's got you stuck, you can tell me about it. You can send me a question to questions@unlockyourhiddenpower.com. Or I also have a free guide available for you if you'll simply visit unlockyourhiddenpower.com. And of course, if you're already right here on the podcast page and not listening through iTunes or one of the others, then you'll see it right there for you at the top right-hand column. What is this free guide all about? Well, if you've ever thought to yourself, I need to get my life back, or you're just having a hard time that you can't seem to recover from, well, it's possible that you've suffered invalidation, abuse, or a spiritual injury somewhere along the way. And so knowing how to take back these natural energies that you have at your core, knowing how to take back your life so that you can just move forward, well, it's one of the most common questions I get. And fortunately, finding your way back to you is easier than it might seem. This new guide is the first step in getting out of the sheer frustration of being stuck and spinning your wheels on success that seems elusive. So thanks for joining me today, and I'm wishing you a life filled with all the alchemy you need to bring success to you. Feel free to share this video with anyone you know who's feeling stuck, and don't forget to grab your free guide at unlockyourhiddenpower.com.